Welcome to our company profile, where I'll provide you with an overview of what happens at the Eating Disorder Psychologist. We know that early intervention saves lives. Prior to the pandemic, best practice treatment for people struggling with eating disorders was in-person only. This was despite research evidence indicating no significant difference between in-person and online sessions. The client's preference has always been the main influence with regards outcome. During the pandemic, both client and therapist preferences were limited to online treatment. And aided by increased technological innovations, society has rapidly socialized into technology-enhanced interventions, which have significantly increased access to services. The Eating Disorder Psychologist developed organically during the pandemic in response to an overwhelming amount of referrals requesting increased access to treatment. We responded by collating and establishing a team of clinicians employing a virtual treatment platform, modeling a multidisciplinary approach with availability to provide access to specialist treatment for individuals suffering with an eating disorder from early onset to moderate levels of severity. I'm Dr. Bev Murray, founder and CEO of the Eating Disorder Psychologist. I'm also a psychologist and psychotherapist, having worked in the field of eating disorders and addictions for over 15 years. Our holistic treatment approach engages meaningful partnerships with expert practitioners, experienced and trained in the complexities of eating disorders and associated conditions. These include psychologists, dietitians, psychiatrists, GPs, recovery coaches, and exercise and movement instructors. This multidisciplinary approach ensures that everyone receives treatment tailored to their specific needs. Our training is aligned with evidence-based treatment for eating disorders as recommended by the National Institute for Health and Clinical Care Excellence. Using these frameworks, we design bespoke clinical interventions tailored to meet the needs and concerns of each individual. Our therapeutic approach incorporates cognitive behavioral therapy, schema therapy, attachment-based therapy, Maudsley anorexia nervosa treatment for adults, specialist supportive clinical management for anorexia nervosa, and psychodynamic therapy, motivational interviewing, and integrative psychotherapy. We employ a virtual treatment platform which enables our partnerships to grow and work together effortlessly. Through the use of technology, our workbooks, online modules, and guides, we're able to implement solutions to help clients access specialist treatment and support at any locality. Our vision is to serve the needs of people of all ages struggling with an eating disorder wherever they are. Our mission is to provide a globally accessible and specialist eating disorder online service. We do this by creating a safe space for individuals and their loved ones to feel empowered to make the changes necessary to promote recovery. We believe passionately in recovery being possible for anyone at any time. We celebrate diversity and help advocate for those marginalized groups feeling constantly oppressed because their value as human beings are negated by body size. Our clinicians are experienced in working with all eating disorders, including those who do not meet the exact diagnostic criteria for each disorder. We view each person as being part of a system, and this system often provides a context for emergent behaviors. We know that many people juggle different social, educational, familial, and environmental demands, and this can impact their well-being. With young people and adults, we work to explore systemic influences where appropriate. For children and adolescents, these are likely to involve family-based approaches. Psychological treatment and associated interventions can be accessed from anywhere without geographical limitations. Joint sessions with different team or family members can be easily facilitated through this approach. The psychologist or psychotherapist is central to treatment and the coordinator of care. Change takes time, hard work, process, and a meaningful therapeutic relationship. We create individualized formulations which are collaboratively based on a shared understanding of our clients' concerns. Psychological formulations are used to summarize, explain, and make sense of current difficulties and experiences. This, in turn, informs interventions tailored and targeted at the issues the individual wants to address. As mentioned earlier, our approach is multidisciplinary, which means that we have a team-centered approach. This mirrors the approach used in well-renowned statutory and non-statutory services and is viewed as the gold standard in the treatment of eating disorders. Our team of eating disorder experts includes psychologists, psychotherapists, dietitians, recovery coaches, and body movement therapists. We would liaise and communicate with GP, psychiatrists as part of care where appropriate. Our therapists are trained in evidence-based treatment approaches as recommended in the NICE guidelines. Stepping into recovery involves building motivation to change, embracing nutritional needs, changing cognitions, overcoming body image concerns, mastering emotions, and empowering recovery, preventing relapse. When taking no action, research indicates that people with eating disorders do not generally recover spontaneously. Early intervention not only saves lives but increases the prognosis of a successful recovery outcome. Eating disorders have the highest mortality rate of any psychiatric illness, with anorexia having the highest mortality rate in adolescents. Living with an eating disorder long-term often results in people feeling hopeless and demoralized about change. Taking action means freedom from the trappings of an eating disorder on mental well-being, emotional health, relationships, social life, work, studies, etc. The ability to achieve meaningful life goals due to increased focus, physical health, and having the headspace to respond to opportunities. A holistic team-based approach provides seamless and contained care for sufferers and their families. Not seeking treatment often means that people spend years organizing their lives around an eating disorder. This impact is profound, not only for the individual, but on family and friendships. We are aware that statutory services are under-resourced and therefore often unable to meet the needs of those not meeting their strict admission criteria. Our current clients consist of a combination of self-referrals, recommendations from private health insurance companies, GPs and psychiatrists. We will be expanding our service to create referral pathways for schools, universities and residential treatment centres. We aim to continue working on increasing access to specialist treatment, adding value and reducing costs, aided with advancing technologies. We align ourselves with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals of promoting health and well-being for all ages and reducing inequality in accessing services for mental health needs. To support this initiative, we take on a subsidized client for every 5 full-paying clients. Thank you for your time and do keep in touch.